Good morning, students. We are going to start with today's lecture. So today we are going to start with the final unit of our syllabus, which is complex analysis. Right. So let's begin with this to tell you that it's a separate unit and this is not in Thomas and Finney. This is not a chapter in the book Thomas and Finney. So you won't find it there. It's in a separate book. It's mentioned in as a textbook. But what I'm going to tell you that I'll be giving you the handwritten notes. So they will be sufficient and the tutorial sheets. Plus, we'll provide you extra practice questions. So no need for you to buy the book or look for this topic in that book. You can practice on your own, but otherwise it's not really required. So right now, firstly, we'll just try to understand, and then later on you can supplement everything with the help of notes. Okay. So it's the few things which we are going to do today are very basic because this is something you are already familiar with. So I hope everybody is familiar with what is a complex number. What is a complex number? So everybody is clear with this notation, right? This is how we denote a complex number usually, where x we know is real part of z and y is the imaginary part of z, and we know the definition of I. So slowly I'll build up and come to this form of a complex number, but this is, I assume everyone is familiar with that this is how a complex number looks like. It has two parts. One part is the real part and other part is the imaginary part. So I will give you some other version of defining this. So it's actually a complex number is an ordered pair x comma y. So what do you mean by ordered pair? Ordered pair means it's a pair, it's like a point in two-dimensional plane. Just like, to give you an example of a normal R2 plane. R2 plane means this two-dimensional plane which we always consider xy plane, right? So in this plane we know if I write any point, say 2 comma 3, so the order is important, right? uh, this 2 refers to the x value and 3 refers to its y value. So 2 comma 3 will not be same as 3 comma 2. They will be two different points. So the way you define a point, the way you write a point in the terms of this coordinate representation, so the order is important. The first has a different meaning, the second has a different meaning. So that is what the meaning of ordered pair is. The same is here. A complex number can also be written as an ordered pair x comma y. So here x belongs to this part and y belongs to the part which is written like this imaginary part. And both x and y are real numbers. This is something we know. Both x and y are real numbers. So this ordered pairs are actually as a point, if you look at, so these are the points in xy plane. I'm not giving you a very formal definition. I'm just giving you another way of looking at it. So this is complex plane. So how does a complex plane looks like? So it's similar to a R2 plane. So in R2 plane we know that in R2 plane we know that we have this xy plane, so that is the real plane. So it's drawn similar, and in this case you have this as your real axis and this as your imaginary axis. So if you have a number, you write it like this, it's a complex number, so it clearly means that x is the real part, y is the imaginary part. And if I write a number like x comma 0, so x comma 0 is going to be purely real number because its imaginary part is 0, right? And if I write 0 comma y, so it's going to be a purely imaginary number because in this case x part is 0. So the numbers lying on this real axis, these are purely real numbers. So these are like x comma 0, x can have any value, and the number lies on imaginary axis are having coordinates like 0 comma y. So this is something very basic and all of us know this already. So this is another way of writing a complex number as an ordered pair. Okay, so we know that if I have a point here, x comma y, so this is y and this much is x. That's what the meaning of this x comma y representation in the complex plane. Now there can be operations, just like you add real numbers, you can subtract real numbers. The four fundamental elementary algebraic operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. The same operations can be done within complex numbers also. So we have, say, if z1 is x1, y1 is one number, and z2 is x2 comma y2. Suppose both are these complex numbers, then how do you define z1 plus z2? How do you add them? Yes, how do you add them? So this is x1 plus x2, y1 plus y2. This is something simple we already know. So if I give you a number, say x1 plus I y1, and another number is x2 plus I y2. So that is how we are going to add them. Real part into real part and imaginary part into imaginary part. So that is how the sum is defined, and same case for subtraction. So if it is plus minus, so subtraction is also included in the same category. And how they are multiplied? Z1, Z2. So X1, Y1, X2, Y2. So how they are multiplied? So you are already familiar with this notation. So I'll tell you this. Yes. So what will be the product of Z1 into Z2? So it will be X1, X2 minus Y1, Y2. That will be the real part. And other one is going to be x2 y1 plus x1 y2. You can do this calculation here and figure out. It's very easy and something you already know. So x1 x2 I square will be minus 1 minus y1 y2 and then plus I times, so it will be x1 y2 plus y1 x2. So that is how I'm just going with parallel with two notations because this is something you know already. So this is how you define the product of two complex numbers, and this is how you define the addition and subtraction. And now I'm just going to tell you something very basic. So this is something you can write x comma 0 plus 0 comma y. This is very easy to see. As an ordered pair, I can write x comma y as x comma 0 plus 0 comma y. And 0 comma y further can be written as this 0 comma 1 y comma 0. So this is 0 comma y can be written as product of two another complex number 0 comma 1 y comma 0. So you can verify this. If you multiply this, what you are going to get? 0 into y minus 1 into 0, and what will be the second coordinate? 1 into y plus 0 into 0. So this is according to the rule of multiplication which I just gave you, that if you are multiplying two complex numbers, so this is how you multiply x1 into x2 minus y1 into y2, that is the real part, and imaginary part is x2 y1 plus x1 y2. On that basis, I have done this multiplication of 0, 1 and y, 0. So I'm getting 0, y. So that is what I have used here. That 0, y can be written like this. So y I have written in this form. Now this is something I know. This x, 0, I can simply write it x. This y, 0, I can simply write as y, because the points x, 0, y, 0, they are lying on the real axis. So all the points whose second coordinate is 0, they are nothing but purely real numbers. This is what I just explained to you. So they are purely real numbers. So purely real numbers जब हमारे पास होते हैं, so उनको हर बार हमें 2, 0, 3, 0 ऐसे लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. We can simply write them 2 and 3. So if I'll just give you a number 2, so this is a real number. If I write it 2, 0 and tell you that, okay, this is a complex number, but in the category of complex numbers, specifically it happens to be a real number. So everybody knows that this complex number, the set of complex number, includes a real number among themselves. So it's just an extension of, it's a superset of, it's an extension of the set of real numbers. So these x, 0 and y, 0, both are just real numbers. So I can simply write x and y for them. And these 0, 1 are, we are denoting by I, right? So we also call it iota sometimes. So whatever notation or name you are clear with it. So this is what how I got introduced. So all of us are already familiar with this, and this is how where we start from. But fundamentally, actually, why I gave you this algebra, little algebra here, that this is how we reach at this one. But obviously, we already know all the operations with this notation, so that is okay if you directly go with that approach, but you should know how it is actually coming, how this I is coming. So this I 0, 1, so this is a purely imaginary number because its real part is 0. As you can see, it's of the category of 0, something, so it's a purely imaginary number. So it will lie on imaginary axis. So in on the imaginary axis, so of the magnitude 1 unit, so this is 0, 1. It will lie here, right? So this is z is equal to x plus iy is a definition of a complex number. And all of you can know that Vidushi, which multiplication you're asking about? I'm not clear. This is a rule for multiplication, right? You already know how to multiply two complex numbers. तो मैंने इसीलिए आपको ये नोटेशन में करके दिखाया था बिकॉज यू ऑलरेडी नो x1 इंटू x2 माइनस y1 इंटू y2 आएगा रियल पार्ट प्लस आई टाइम्स द अदर वन. so this is something you should know already. so ये रियल पार्ट है, ये इमेजिनरी पार्ट है. so इसको ऑर्डर्ड पेयर की फॉर्म में जब हमने लिखा है, ये मल्टीप्लाई हो रहे हैं, तो ये इसका रियल पार्ट है, ये इमेजिनरी पार्ट है. so now if you take this particular example, so using the same rule I have multiplied. आप वैसे भी कर सकते हो, right? Okay, so what I was explaining, this is how it is. And if you find I square, so what is I square? So 0, 1 into 0, 1. So again, we are using the rule of multiplication. So this is 0 into 0 minus 1 into 1, x1 into x2 minus y1 into y2. And what is the other part? So 0 into 1 plus 1 into 0. So 0 into 1 plus 1 into 0. So this is basically minus 1 comma 0. And minus 1 comma 0 is what? It's a purely real number because its imaginary part is 0. So we are clear now that actually ये जो minus 1 comma 0, as I just told you, the number which happens to be purely real number, अगर आप उसको as directly उसका value लिखोगे, so that is what it is. So I square is minus 1. So that's how this is a purely imaginary number, but its square happens to be minus 1. So we know that that's how its basic definition of iota comes into picture, right? So after that, again something very basic. So you can find out the inverse of a complex number. Inverse of a complex number. So how you're going to find the inverse of a complex number? Multiplicative inverse. that if I have a number z is equal to x comma y and some another number, say z inverse I want to find. So what is going to be the property of z inverse? So z inverse, the inverse of a complex number is also going to be the complex number. So let's have the notation u comma v for that. So the property of inverse is this, that if you multiply both of them, then it happens to be a real number, which is 1. And that is what the meaning of inverse is. That something into multiplied upon multiplication, you will get the number exactly equal to 1. So can you find this u and v? So it's very easy to find. So x comma y multiplied with u comma v should be 1. 1 means 1 comma 0 if you write in terms of ordered pairs. And now you use the rule of multiplication again. So xu minus yv comma xv plus yu. So this is what you will get on multiplication, should be here. And now you equate these two equations, equate the coordinates, and you will get two equations. And now you solve these in terms of, you find u and v in terms of x and y. So I'm directly writing the values. You don't need to remember the derivation, means it's something like very basic things. So that's why I'm covering up very briefly. You can validate each and every calculation yourself. This is what you will get. U is equal to this and V is equal to this. So you solve these equations and find U and V in terms of X and Y. So you will get that. Obviously now X square plus Y square is coming into the denominator. So that has to be non-zero. And when does X square plus Y square is going to be non-zero? xy means the point, as a point the complex number has to be a non-zero complex number. So z has to be non-zero because z is going to be 0 or if and only if x and y are going to be 0. So we, zero complex number means it's both real and imaginary parts are 0. So the z should be non-zero. So you can say the inverse exists only for non-zero numbers. So it's something similar to the real numbers for any non-zero complex number. Zero का inverse नहीं होता है real में भी, so complex numbers में भी as a zero as a complex number का भी inverse नहीं है. So Z inverse is this number u plus iv, where u is x over x square plus y square and v is y minus y over x square plus y square. So this is something you can remember because in some case, in some calculations, if anywhere you need to compute inverse of a complex number, so you can just directly use this one and get to know the answer. Like you can have any example, say find inverse of z is equal to 1 plus I. So can you do that calculation? Suppose this is the question. So you need to give me the value of z inverse. So this is x over x square plus y square minus I y over x square plus y square. So what is x? So if you compare this number with x plus I y, so x is 1, y is also 1. So this is 1 plus 1 will make it 2. So 1 by 2 minus, so this is basically 1 minus I by 2. That is going to be the Z inverse. Is it clear to everyone? These are very brief, basic things. If anybody is facing any difficulty, then you can ask because I'm going on with the assumption that you know these things already. Right? So this is the very fundamental, just the algebraic operations. And now again, something which is very basic, you already know, modulus of a complex number. Yes, what is modulus of a complex number? So mod z is square root x square plus y square. So it is basically the distance of the point x comma y from 0 comma 0. This is what we already clear with because यहाँ पे भी वही है कि हम उसको as a ordered pair देख रहे हैं complex number को. So it's denoting as a point. Yes, Agrim, we have just started with the complex number. So this is x comma y. So this is, we know, is the origin. So the distance from here will be obviously mod z, which is square root of x square plus y square. Everybody knows that this is the way you calculate the distance. So this is your y, this is your x. So this is going to be square root of x square plus y square, and this is a modulus of a complex number, right? So modulus of a complex number is a real number. The square root, the complex number x plus iy, for any complex number, its mod is always going to be, mod of z is always going to be a real positive number, because it's always the square root of this one. Okay. And another thing which you know is what we have, complex conjugate. So complex conjugate of z is equal to x plus iy. What is that? Z bar x minus iy, right? So this is the standard notation. Mod को हम mod z से denote करते हैं, complex conjugate को हम z bar से denote करते हैं. So z bar is x minus iy. This is the complex conjugate of any complex number. So you can define the conjugate for any number. And if you compare now these two things, what is the modulus of z bar? This is also going to be the same, square root of x square plus y square. So this is same as mod of z. So the modulus of the complex number and its conjugate are same, because you can practically see that the complex conjugate will be here. It will be x comma minus y. If this is z, so this is z bar, because you just have to make on the imaginary axis, you have to move on minus y, minus direction. So this is this. So if you calculate this point's distance from its from pole, then it will be also the same thing, square root of x square plus y square. So that is how it is. And if you take 2 times conjugate, you will get back the original number. This is also very clear to us. And now you see what this is going to be. If you multiply a number with its complex conjugate, so you can do the multiplication and figure it out, you are going to get x square plus y square. So howsoever you do the multiplication, आप ordered pair वाली definition भी use कर सकते हो. Ordered pair की sense में अब use करोगे, so you'll get x square minus of minus y square or minus xy plus xy. So you will get x square plus y square comma 0. So it's a real number. Basically x square plus y square. So चाहे directly करो, चाहे आप ordered pair की multiplication का rule use करके करो, it's one and the same thing you will get. So this is z into z bar, and actually this is mod z का square, because mod z is the square root of x square plus y square. ये उसका square होगा. So this is another relation which you get. So you can use it whenever it is required. So z into z bar is mod z square. Okay. And few more properties we have. So they are not required, but okay, I can list them. You can figure it out at any time that they are true, right? I'm not going to give you proofs of them. This is very easy to verify if you want to verify. Conjugate. This symbol is for conjugate. Obviously, जब division की बात करते हैं, तब the denominator has to always be non-zero. Okay, so this is about the modulus and the conjugate, and a few more things you can see here. If you add the number with its complex conjugate, what you are going to get? So x comma y, you add in x comma minus y. So it is 2x 0, which is 2x only because happens to be a real number. So x is z plus z bar by 2. And similarly, if you subtract these two numbers, so you will get x minus x and y minus minus y. So it's a purely imaginary number. From here you can see it's an imaginary number. So as a number, if you are going to write, so it is 2iy. Iota will come there. So it's going to be like that. So y is z minus z bar by 2i. So this is like this. More simplified way, you can write it like real part of z is z plus z bar by 2, and imaginary part of z is z minus z bar by 2i, right? So this is modulus and the complex conjugate. So the next thing which we are going to do, formally our chapter starts from here. अभी तक जो भी I was explaining, that was all very fundamental and basic. So that even does not form any kind of questions. You will not find any questions in the tutorial sheet related to that. So formally जो जिससे हम questions करेंगे, so that part starts from here. So we are now going to introduce polar form of a complex number. Right. So polar form, it's clear from the name. We will move to polar coordinates. So there are benefits of moving to polar coordinates because the calculations and many things get simplified when you represent a complex number in terms of the polar coordinates. Right. So we know that r and theta is a standard notation for the polar coordinates. So हम r theta form में इसको लिखेंगे. So if you have z is x plus iy, so we already know the conversion formulas, that how to, because basically x and y are real numbers. So in Cartesian coordinates, we are going to convert to polar. So these are the relationships. X is r cos theta, y is r sin theta, and r is square root of x square plus y square, and theta we know is tan inverse y by x, and actual value of theta is decided according to the quadrant in which it lies, but basically roughly it is calculated from tan inverse y by x. So this r is basically mod of z, the modulus for a complex number. That is what r is. And this form, let me just write it in this form first. Z is r cos theta plus I sine theta. So I substituted x r cos theta, y r sine theta, and took the r common. So this form is known as polar form of a complex number, where r is the, so जब आप फॉर्म लिख रहे हो तो आपको उनको दोनों को डिफाइन करना है. So where r is the same thing, the distance, the radial distance of the point from the pole, from the origin or the pole, which is mod z. And what is theta? How do you define theta? Theta is called the argument of z, right? So this is basically, this is the notation arg. So this is argument of z. This is the standard notation for arg. And theta, what is actually denoting? Theta is the angle which z makes with positive x axis. So we know how to measure theta. अभी हमने polar का chapter finish किया है, so it's the similar things you can recall. So wherever is the point, say this is the point z as an ordered pair x comma y. So then this distance is r and this angle is theta, right? So then we can write the number. So if you know r and theta, you can write the number in this form. And this is the notation of theta and definition of theta. So this is the meaning of the polar form. And now further we would like to extend this information on specifically on this argument. So this argument z can have infinitely many values. जैसे हमने polar coordinates में करा था कि एक point के infinitely many polar coordinate representations होते हैं, because अगर आप यहाँ पे हो, so you keep on adding 2 pi or subtracting any multiple of 2 pi in theta, you will reach at the same point. So if theta is an argument, so theta plus minus 2n pi is also the argument, because you will reach eventually at the same point. Okay. So what essentially it means, since argument z can have infinitely many values, so फॉर यूनिकनेस, अब हमें एक यूनिकनेस के लिए डिफाइन करना पड़ेगा कि हमें कौन सा चूज करना है, बिकॉज इसकी तो इनफाइनेटली मेनी वैल्यूज हैं. सो इफ समबडी आस्क यू व्हाट इज द आर्गुमेंट ऑफ दिस कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर, गिवन अ कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर, फाइंड इट्स आर्गुमेंट means find its ये theta value. So everybody can give a different answer, because एक particular answer में you keep on adding plus minus 2 pi or its multiple, all those answers will be correct because geometrically you will be at the same point. But we need a unique answer. So उसके लिए हम एक define करते हैं principal argument, that we do not want different answers, we want a unique answer. So instead of asking the argument, we ask for, okay, tell me the principal argument of a complex number. So principal argument, so this is denoted by capital ARG Z. Okay, and how it is defined, हमें कौन सा pick करना है? So capital ARG Z is actually that value of theta, where theta is obviously any particular value of argument Z, but it should satisfying minus pi to pi, right? आपको obviously पूरा period cover करना है 2 pi का, because theta can be precisely anywhere, but हमें कौन सा period लेना है? because आप पूरे चारों quadrants को cover करना चाहते हो 0 to जो आपका 2 pi है, you want to cover every angle. So वो 0 to 2 pi भी हो सकता है, वो 2 pi to 4 pi भी हो सकते हैं angles, 4 pi to 8 pi 6 pi भी हो सकते हैं. So you obviously there are different ranges. तो उसमें से एक particular range pick किया गया है. Obviously it's the length of this range is 2 pi. इसमें सारे angles covered हैं. तो obviously minus pi या pi में से एक को ही include किया जाएगा, because हम दोनों को include नहीं कर सकते हैं to make that choice unique. So if your theta particularly will satisfy this interval, it lies in this interval, then we say, okay, this one is the principal argument. Okay, so this is the notation, capital ARG, and this is the meaning of the principal argument, that it should satisfy this. So I'll be just giving you the example so you can figure it out from there. And before doing example, so you can have this relationship, that if you know the principal argument, then you can have any value of the argument. तो बाकी जो infinitely many values हैं, they can be obtained from there by adding any multiple of 2 pi. अब इसको लिखने के दो तरीके होते हैं, या तो आप plus minus 2n pi कर दो, और n क्या है आपका positive integer, right? Either you write like this, or other way is आर्गुमेंट z, इसको सिर्फ प्लस लिखो, माइनस यहां ना लिखो, और n लिखो इंटीजर, तो उसमें नेगेटिव कवर हो जाएंगे, लाइक n इज 0 प्लस माइनस 1 प्लस माइनस 2. सो डिपेंड्स अपॉन यू, आप ये भी यूज कर सकते हो. n को अगर पॉजिटिव इंटीजर डिफाइन करोगे तो आप ऑब्वियसली नॉन नेगेटिव, रादर आई शुड से 0 भी उसमें इंक्लूडेड है, नॉन नेगेटिव इंटीजर डिफाइन करोगे तब आप प्लस माइनस यहाँ पे यूज कर सकते हो, और n को इंटीजर डिफाइन करोगे तो आप ये यूज कर सकते हो. तो बोथ आर कन्वीनियंट, whatever you want to use, but use it carefully. So because whatever you define, you have to define that. So there is a standard notation for this. इंटीजर्स के सेट की ये नोटेशन होती है z, कैपिटल z. डू नॉट गेट कंफ्यूज्ड, ये कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर नहीं है. कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर इज सिंपली स्मॉल z. तो जो ये सेट्स होते हैं हमारे पास, इनकी सबकी स्टैंडर्ड नोटेशंस होती हैं. आई डोंट नो यू आर फेमिलियर विद दिस और नॉट, बट आई कैन टेल यू फ्यू नोटेशंस. ये जो z में हम ये लाइन ड्रॉ कर देते हैं, दिस डिनोट्स द सेट ऑफ इंटीजर्स. r के आगे हम एक लाइन ड्रॉ कर देते हैं, दिस डिनोट्स द सेट ऑफ रियल्स. कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर्स की ये नोटेशन होती है. हम ये यूज नहीं करेंगे, इंट्रोड्यूस नहीं करेंगे, बिकॉज we are not doing that much deep analysis, but this is something you should know. और rationals के लिए q use होता है, q for rationals. So if you write it like this, but please do not write this, ये गलत है. So z अगर आप उसको ऐसे लिखना चाहते हो, so write it like that. Okay, so whichever you can use. So this is the relation between argument and the principal argument. So now let's do a few example. Say we want to do a question, find principal argument of z is 1 plus I, right? So that means we are actually looking for its polar form. So in polar form, we know that we want to write it like z is equal to r cos theta plus I sin theta. So r is square root of 1 plus 1 because this is x plus iy, right? So this gives you x is 1, y is 1. So r is 2. So we only need to find theta now. So what is the value of theta? So theta is tan inverse y by x. So tan inverse 1 by 1, tan inverse 1, which is pi by 4, right? Now, okay, so because both ये y और x के इंडिविजुअल कई बार साइंस हो सकते हैं, बट हो सकता है आपको यहाँ पे ध्यान रखना पड़े. जैसे यहाँ पे यू कैन सी y एंड x बोथ आर पॉजिटिव. जब आप फाइनली इस थीटा को लिखोगे तो यू शुड बी टेकिंग केयर ऑफ द क्वाड्रेंट, इन विच क्वाड्रेंट इट इज लाइंग. सो सिंस बोथ x and y are positive, means both sine theta and cos theta are taking positive values, so that is happening in the first quadrant. So this angle is definitely pi by 4, right? Yeah, sorry, square root 2. Thank you. Okay, so this is theta, and अब जो भी theta आया, this you now check. Since this satisfies that range, ये minus pi और pi के बीच में आ रहा है, it satisfies this one. So this is your basically principal argument. So capital ARG of Z is pi by 4, right? And Z की polar form क्या बनी? Square root 2 cos pi by 4 plus I sine pi by 4. This is the number expressed in polar form, and this is the principal argument, right? So this question was easy. Now you can do similar for, say, Z is minus 1 minus I, right? So I'm changing the number to minus 1 minus I. So you tell me what is going to be its principal argument. So R is same, square root 2. And how you will find theta? Theta will be tan inverse y by x. So theta is tan inverse minus 1 by minus 1 because both are negative. So basically यहाँ से आपको लगेगा कि tan inverse 1, this is pi by 4. So but it's not pi by 4 because both x and y are negative. So which quadrant in you are? Both x and y are negative, means both sine and cos. X and y means cos theta as well as sine theta. क्योंकि it's the same thing. X is r cos theta, y is r sine theta. R तो पॉजिटिव होता है. तो आप अगर ये देखना चाहते हो कि दोनों cos या sin जो है पॉजिटिव है या नेगेटिव है, तो उसका इक्विवेलेंट है, आप x और y को देख लो. So both x and y are negative, or both cos and sine theta are negative. So which quadrant you are? Third quadrant. So now you need to tell me what value this will be in the third quadrant, which line this is going to be. This is going to be 5 pi by 4, right? So you see here, right? So this one is pi by 4, but you have to be in the third quadrant. So in the third quadrant, this line. So this line, actual theta is 5 pi by 4. I hope this is clear to everyone. How you have to see that? यहाँ पे भी ये tan inverse 1 ही बना था, but ये pi by 4 नहीं आएगा. आपको quadrant देखना है by looking at the values of the signs of x and y. तो ये आप third quadrant का theta है. So this should be 5 pi by 4. But this is not satisfying. This is not satisfying ये वाली range. ये pi से less नहीं है ना, right? You can see it's not satisfying. So this is not the value of principal argument. This is okay for the polar form, but if the question is find the principal argument, then you should be now finding the principal argument of this. So what should I do? Yeah, so what is the equivalent angle? वही है, आपको उसी पॉइंट पे रहना है. You can't change the point. It is just आपको वो वाला थीटा चूज करना है जो आपकी रेंज को सेटिस्फाई करे. So the easy way is, अगर आप ज्योमेट्रिकली देखना चाहते हो, so you come from this side because in magnitude this will be less than pi, right? If you come clockwise instead of coming anti-clockwise, if you come clockwise, क्योंकि आपको जो थीटा चाहिए वो मैग्नीट्यूड में पाई से कम होना चाहिए, तो आप इस तरफ से आओगे तो यू आर डेफिनेटली मूविंग लेस देन पाई इन मैग्नीट्यूड. सो ये कितना एंगल बना? 3 पाई बाय 4, बट बिकॉज आप क्लॉकवाइज आए हो तो दिस इज एक्चुअली minus 3 pi by 4. So the principal argument for this particular number, this one, इसका अगर कैपिटल आर्गुमेंट लिखोगे, सो दिस इज -3π/4. सो दिस इज हाउ यू हैव टू डू द क्वेश्चंस. अब आप ज्योमेट्रिकली हर बार नहीं, मान लो ड्रॉ करके नहीं देखना चाहते हो, सो टेक्निक क्या है, जो भी ये नंबर आया, सो यू subtracted from 2π, because if not satisfying your range, you subtracted from 2π, so उसका साइन जरूर चेंज हो जाएगा, but you will get that into your range, right? So this is the capital ARGZ. Now you ask me your doubts. Yes, Uday, you have any doubt? You were raising hand. No, I just hope it is clear now. So this is easy. So we did two questions, found two principal arguments and found the polar forms. And let's do few very quick early more examples. So let's do the third example. So Z is say -3i. Yes. So what is the value of R here? The value of R is X part is 0 and Y is -3. So it's 0 plus 9. So R is basically 3. And what is theta? Yes, theta will be tan inverse Y by X. So basically आपको लगेगा pi/2 है, but you look at the Y value, its Y value is negative. So it's -pi/2, right? It's downwards. The point, आप इसको ज्योमेट्रिकली भी देख सकते हो, ये -3i कहाँ पे लाई करेगा? So this is 0, -3 as a point. So this is lying on this theta is equal to -pi/2 line. So you have all the tools with you, you have the geometry knowledge, so आप draw करके भी देख सकते हो. These things are not difficult. So this is it, -pi/2. So this is the principal argument, it satisfies that. So capital ARGZ, the principal argument is -pi/2. Another example, -√3 plus I. -√3 plus I. What is its, okay, R value is easy to find, 3 plus 1. So R is 2 and theta is tan inverse 1 by -√3. So yes, 1 by √3. Where does tan theta takes the value? 1 by √3. And in which quadrant you are? You are in the X value is negative, but Y value is positive. You are in the second quadrant. So in second quadrant, you will be getting it 5π/6. ये आपको थीटा रेडियंस में लिखना है आंसर. डिग्रीज में हम लिख देते हैं, दैट इज एक्सेप्टेड, बट इफ यू गो बाय द थ्योरेटिकल book language, so they define the argument as a theta defined in the radians, so it's always expressed in radians. So I'll suggest all of you to write your answer in radians, not in degrees. So theta is 5π/6. If anybody is facing any difficulty in identifying these, then you can ask. So very quickly, one more question. So this is the question of tute sheet. -8 -8 √3i. So in this case, if you find theta, so okay, this is the capital ARGZ. So this is tan inverse -8 -8 this. So this is basically tan inverse 1 by √3, but in this case also both X and Y are negative. So you are in the third quadrant. So which angle this is going to be? Sorry, this I did wrong. Sorry. This is 8√3 Y by X. Yeah. So this is √3 actually. You are in the third quadrant, and what angle it should be? Yes. So you can have it first 4π/3 because it's going to be here, but 4π/3 does not satisfy your range. This is going to be this angle, 4π/3 roughly. Theta is 4π/3, but this is not principal argument. So what you do is come from the other side. So it's -2π/3 is the capital argument Z. So it's 4π/3 minus 2π, which is -2π/3. Right? So you already familiar with these questions. It's not necessary कि मैं जिस तरीके से आपको बता रही हूँ आपको वैसे ही करना है. I'm trying from my side to give you the most convenient way of finding these values of arguments and principal arguments. But if you're already efficient in finding them with your own technique, then it's okay. You can do that. Right? Yes. So this was about the polar form. And okay, so I'll stop here. And okay, you can ask your doubts. If you have, I'm giving you the option of unmuting yourself. You can unmute and ask.
मैम हम लीस्ट पॉजिटिव वैल्यू यूज करेंगे?
Sorry?
मैम एक लीस्ट पॉजिटिव वैल्यू भी होती है ना आर्गुमेंट की?
Least positive, obviously वो means in what sense you are saying?
मतलब जैसे मैम प्रिंसिपल वैल्यू माइनस पाई से प्लस पाई होती है, लीस्ट पॉजिटिव वैल्यू 0 से 2 पाई होती है.
ओके नहीं, बट यहाँ पे हम प्रिंसिपल वैल्यू ही यूज कर रहे हैं.
ओके मैम.
मीन्स ये क्वेश्चन ही वो है ना, फाइंड द प्रिंसिपल आर्गुमेंट. अदरवाइज इफ इट इज जस्ट एक्सप्रेस इन पोलर फॉर्म, यू कैन राइट एनी वैल्यू ऑफ थीटा. वो तो
Okay.
फिर कोई भी वैल्यू लिख सकते हो. बट हियर वी आर फोकसिंग ऑन फाइंडिंग द प्रिंसिपल आर्गुमेंट.
ओके.
अदरवाइज आप कोई भी थीटा एज एन आंसर दे सकते हो विच सेटिस्फाइज द पोलर फॉर्म.
मैम
यस.
ओके
मैम जैसे हम 12th में करते थे कि एक जैसे फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेंट में वैल्यू अगर हमने प्रिंसिपल आर्गुमेंट की लिखनी है तो हम उसको थीटा लेते थे. सेकंड क्वाड्रेंट में पाई माइनस थीटा, थीटा माइनस पाई एंड माइनस पाई एंड सो ऑन. तो हम उस तरीके से कर सकते हैं.
हाँ, मैं वही बता रही हूँ. यू आर ऑलरेडी हैविंग टेक्निक्स ऑफ डूइंग, तो यू कैन डू दैट. आप क्योंकि आपको बेटर टेक्निक्स भी आ सकती हैं. मैं बिल्कुल फंडामेंटली सिखा रही हूँ. इफ यू आर गेटिंग योर आंसर्स राइट विद योर टेक्निक्स विच यू आर ऑलरेडी नोइंग, सो दैट्स कंप्लीटली फाइन.
राइट, थैंक यू.
बेसिकली वो जो उस टाइम पे आपको पढ़ाया जाता है वो इसी सेंस में पढ़ाया जाता है ताकि आप डायरेक्ट फॉर्मूला यूज करके उसको यूज निकाल सको. सो बट यहाँ पे आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू गिव यू द ज्योमेट्रिकल information also, but it's completely okay howsoever you want to do it. Okay, so जैसे ही आप ये प्रिंसिपल आर्गुमेंट का आंसर लिख देते हो उसके बाद जनरली you can always use that equation. Okay, that's this argument is the principal argument plus 2n pi and belongs to z. So that is like a complete answer कि आपने उसके infinitely many solutions भी बता दिए, because this is what we are going to use in a few of the questions कि हम पहले एक वैल्यू फाइंड करेंगे बट हमें उसके सपोज सारे आंसर बताने हैं. सो सारे मींस इनफाइनाइटली मेनी सॉल्यूशंस को बताने का तरीका ये होता है कि आप प्रिंसिपल आर्गुमेंट की वैल्यू लिखो प्लस माइनस 2n पाई एंड बिलोंग्स टू इंटीजर्स, ऐसे लिख के आप उसको बता सकते हो. सो दिस यू कैन डू इन एवरी क्वेश्चन. फाइंड वन पर्टिकुलर थीटा एंड देन फाइंड प्रिंसिपल आर्गुमेंट एंड राइट इट दिस वे. आर तो यूनिक ही रहेगा हमेशा.
मैम आर्ग जेड का मतलब क्या होता है?
दिस इज आर्गुमेंट. दिस इज द, जैसे अब हम इट्स थीटा को एक नाम दिया गया है. जैसे हम आर को आर बोल रहे हैं कि पोलर में आर थीटा है, बट वी नो what actually r is denoting a particular quantity associated with a complex number which is modulus. Similarly वो थीटा को थीटा नहीं बोल के उसको एक पर्टिकुलर नाम दिया गया है कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर में कि वो आर्गुमेंट है. तो आर्गुमेंट, दैट्स व्हाई द नोटेशन ARG इज कमिंग, एंड उसमें फिर एक स्पेसिफिक वैल्यू चूज किया जाता है, उसको हम प्रिंसिपल आर्गुमेंट बोल देते हैं. Was that your question?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, any other doubts? विदुषी ट्रिपल इंटीग्रल के as such कोई नोट्स नहीं है. आपको एक दो क्वेश्चन मैंने क्लास में कराए हैं, आप बस उसी को प्रैक्टिस कर लो ट्यूशन में और बुक में से. अदरवाइज उसमें कुछ है नहीं है ट्रिपल इंटीग्रल.
ओके मैम,
उसके लिए ज्यादा आपको करने की जरूरत नहीं.
कहाँ से करोगे? थॉमसन फिर नहीं है तो?
सॉरी
मैम इस चैप्टर की प्रैक्टिस कहाँ से करें अगर ये थॉमसन फिने में नहीं है?
नहीं है तो व्हाट आई विल डू, आपको देखो ट्यूट शीट तो मिला ही है, उसके अलावा भी विल प्रोवाइड यू क्वेश्चंस टू प्रैक्टिस. तो जो जितना जितना हम क्लास में डिस्कस कर रहे हैं इसी से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस आएंगे. सो आप उतने ही प्रैक्टिस कर लो, दैट विल बी मोर देन सफिशिएंट. एक्चुअली बुक तो है बट अदर बुक है. अब आप ऑफलाइन मोड में होते तो वी वुड हैव रेफर्ड यू द बुक, तो आप लाइब्रेरी से वो बुक ले सकते थे. बट जस्ट फॉर वन चैप्टर वी आर नॉट एनकरेजिंग यू टू बाय अनदर बुक फॉर दैट और सर्च फॉर दैट. उसका सॉफ्ट वर्जन भी अवेलेबल नहीं है. सो वी विल प्रोवाइड यू द नोट्स और एनीथिंग. राइट. सो आई जस्ट होप दैट इज क्लियर. कल की छुट्टी नहीं है तो कल हमारी क्लास है. सो विल सी यू टुमारो and we'll try to finish this in 3 lectures, but possibly नहीं हुआ तो हो सकता है एक extra lecture हमें लेना पड़े इस week, but 4 lectures में definitely ये chapter finish हो जाएगा, including this. आज का lecture हो गया है हमारा. Okay, thank you everyone. That's all for today.